So explain the factors that led to Napoleon's downfall. Finally detail Napoleon's legacy. There you go. There you go. Bless you. Bless you. All right, okay, so Napoleon's downfall, let's start there. Okay, so what are the factors that we talked about that led to his downfall? Wyatt, go ahead, get one.
Defeat to Russia.
Okay, yeah, good job. So all plans to beat Russia. Good, good. What were the reasons why he fell to Russia? We talked a little bit about some of the conditions in Russia. We also talked about a policy that they waged, which I know it's pretty crazy, but hey, it worked. Right? It worked. So what was wrong? Go ahead.
The scorched earth policy basically just destroyed everything and cheating. So
Yeah. Yeah, good job, good job. So we know that France had a much stronger military. So Russia, in order to try to deter France from invading into Russia, they thought, well, we'll just destroy everything. If there's nothing here for Napoleon to take, to conquer, then he'll just turn around. Right? So they destroyed their farm fields, they destroyed their buildings, their infrastructure, their cities, their roads, their bridges, you name it, to try to deter them away. And also, what else was another impact? Go ahead, Connor. The Civil War. Okay, let's just continue with the Paul, Russia, this invasion here. What else, Paul? It's very cold. Yeah, good job. Right, very cold. So in some locations, -20, -30 degrees. Right. So if you're trying to mobilize an army, if you're trying to march these distances, it's going to be hard to just have any type of food ready to go for your soldiers, your troops. And marching through this difficult terrain, when it comes to the cold weather, a lot of people just died of the sheer weather alone, the environment, rather than actually fighting wars, fighting battles. So yeah, the weather, good, good. Okay, we'll talk when we get to World War I, World War II, very similar. It seems like you guys didn't really do the research on invading Russia. All right, what else? What else? What else? So Russia, are they as developed as these Western and Central European countries? We talked a lot about with Peter the Great. His goal is to try to modernize Russia to make it look a little bit more westernized. Okay, and when it came to Russia, their infrastructure, their roads, right, even bridges, when it came to transportation, they were lacking. So yeah, if you're an invading country and these roads aren't established, you're marching through really, really tough terrain. Okay. So yeah, that was another, benefit to Russia. It's just their lack of modernization. And that's going to be another factor when we lead to World War I, World War II. That was a downfall to some of the other countries. All right, good. So all of Russia, that's a good one. What's another one? What's another one we talked about? Connor, you said it. Peninsular War. Yeah, good job. Peninsular War. Good job. Who was that with? Who were they duking it out with? Go ahead, Connor. Spain. Spain, yep, good job. So Spain decided to try to break away from the first one I was looking for, the continental system, and they decided to trade with Great Britain. So for Napoleon, he was trying to, again, try to bring them back to the will, bring them back to the control of France. In doing so, this Peninsular War lasted about 6 years. What type of warfare was Spain utilizing, which was a real thorn in the side of France? Go ahead, Chris. Yeah, good job. So guerrilla warfare. So it wasn't traditional at all. They're a small band of fighters, hit and run tactics, fast paced, using the environment to their advantage. And it was difficult to establish any type of control for France and Spain. So yeah, this was a very, very tough time. And you got to think about it, Spain is at the far west of Europe, whereas Russia far east, right? Yeah, so if you're Napoleon, you're duking it out with all these countries in Europe, and you're fighting all across the continent. Your troops, your soldiers are really stretched out, okay? And you can't focus all your will on one opponent. Splitting up your army never really goes well. Okay, last one, I just mentioned it. That's last year's last one. Jason. Yeah, good job. What's that all about? What is that? Yeah, yeah, good job. So naval blockade to try to cut off trade from Great Britain to the rest of Europe. Right? The goal was to try to hit Great Britain where it hurts the most, their wallet, right? Their money. We know Great Britain's an island, so they're dependent on the trade, they're dependent on these resources that are coming in from all their other overseas territories. And they're trading with the rest of Europe. So Napoleon thought the best way to try to eliminate Great Britain from the fight, from the wars, pulling on the wars, is to try to cut them out economically. So just cut out their trading partners. And we know Spain with Russia, they can't live. And they're dependent on trade with Great Britain. If they are the strongest power in the world still at this time. So with Napoleon, he tried to hit them where it hurts, their wallet. So have a naval blockade. Why wasn't this realistic? Why was it realistic? Good, Paul. Yeah, good job, right? So the other countries need to trade. They're dependent on these resources and fuels from Great Britain. If you cut that out, chances are prices are going to go high because there's a low supply of these goods in the market. That might cause a revolution. That might cause internal struggles. So yeah, Spain, Russia, they just kind of drop out of the system. Causing Napoleon to try to send troops over there to control. All right, good, good. Is there anything else? Anything else? Those are the biggest factors I wanted to include in the Napoleonic Wars. How it kind of came to an end. What about his legacy? What about his legacy? Go ahead, Connor.
He loves it. He's nationalism all over Europe.
Yeah, good job, good job. So when we look at the map of Europe, and when we get close to World War I, I'll have you guys know where these countries are as it's looking a little bit more to modern times. These countries are starting to form and gain a sense of nationalism. What does nationalism mean again? Well,
A strong support of Europe.
yeah, good job. So a sense of national pride, very strong, right? Patriotism in other language, right? Other words. So this is a strong sense of national pride in your own country. It's only going to pit these countries against one another, right? Setting up rivalries, maybe even alliances. Some try to pit against others, and this is going to lead to warfare sooner or later. So 100 years, we'll talk about World War I, and we'll mention about how these countries are all duking it out for supremacy, and leads to another conflict. All right, what else? What else? What else? So with Napoleon's defeated Russia, he was sent to Elba, right? Elba Island, right off the coast of Italy. Came back, wasn't strong enough, lost at the Battle of what? What battle is he ultimately defeated at Aussie? Waterloo, yeah, good job. And then finally he was sent to what island?
St. Helena.
Yeah, St. Helena. Yep, right down, all the way down, right? South Atlantic Sea, close to Africa, close to South America. Go ahead, Paul.
So we left like he changed Europe used to be like more democratic.
Yeah, good job, good job. So when it comes to these liberties, these freedoms that were fought for during the French Revolution, and he's really trying to, spread this all throughout Europe, break down this old system of the absolute monarch. Yeah, that the church was in all power, the absolute monarch, the divine right theory, this ideology, it's just all going to be taken out. So his goal is to try to spread liberties and freedoms that were fought for through this French Revolution. I know it sounds crazy because he was a dictator, but he did spread these values all throughout Europe, these Enlightenment views. Okay, and with that, these governments with nationalism will structure their policies, their constitution to raise the middle class, to raise the voice of the people, rather than just being controlled over this dual system. So yeah, when you're looking at a hero and villain, there's a lot of critiques for both, right? There's a lot of things you can add. Napoleon was more of a hero or a villain, but in many sense, you can argue for both. All right, is there any questions on that? Any questions? Okay, so that's kind of a longer one, and maybe on the test you'll see something like that for your last question. So make sure you have all that labeled out. Make sure you have all that detail where with your bell ringer. Like I said, I'll check this when we return. We'll just add it on to the ones for the next chapter then. All right. Okay.